we're heading back to Deya. It seems like only yesterday that I was there enjoying the beautiful, lovely, soft mouthful of the Deya beer. Well, today I've got another Deya, and this is one that I couldn't pick up there. This is called Glue. It's an IPA coming at 6.5%, and this is the one hopped with a lot of New Zealand hops. So we've got Motueka, we've got Wai-Iti and Rakau, as well as Citra as well. So I'm looking forward to this one, but what is it going to be like? Is it going to be as good as all the other Deyas? Keep on watching and you will find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing Glue. This is by Deya, and as I said in the intro, this is mainly a lot of New Zealand style hops. So 6.5% IPA. Is it going to be as good as all the other Deyas? Certainly all the Deyas that we've had recently have been excellent. All in the sort of mid-80s in terms of the scoring. Can this do as well? This is another one of the beers which is, quite a lot of New Zealand hopped beers we've got this month. And this is going to be no different, but this is Deya, this is going to be a good one. So it's in a big 500ml can, so I've got my big glass for this. And let's see what it's all about. I mean, certainly, when you pour it out, it looks like a lot of the other Deyas. It's probably a little bit more orangey, opposed to sort of like the custard straw coloured, but it looks pretty good. We've got 3 fingers of head. My pouring seems to be pretty rubbish at the moment, but look at that, really thick, hazy sort of beer. Let's see what the aromas are like. Oh yeah, it's got this real creamy sort of aroma, but then it's also wrapped up in a lot of citrus, certainly limes, and then I'm getting the gooseberry. I always think that the gooseberry is the strong aroma of a lot of these New Zealand hops. Where before you were thinking, yeah, it's a lot of, if you got when you get Nelson, this hasn't got Nelson Sauvin, but when you get Nelson Sauvin, you get that much grape. But if you don't have Nelson Sauvin, a lot of the New Zealand hops have that real fresh gooseberry and lime, real strong, very zesty citrus, and this is no different. But there's a creaminess about it. It's almost like it has a sort of creaminess when you use things like Sabro hop. It sometimes gives a sort of real creamy sort of aroma, and this one has definitely got that as well. It smells pretty damn good. I can't wait to taste it. So cheers everyone. Oh yeah. Really, really creamy. Amazing soft mouthfeel. But there's a real sweet creaminess about it. It's almost got flavours of coconut. If I taste this, I almost think that there's a bit of Sabro in it. There isn't any Sabro in it, but it's got a real creamy sort of flavour. Sweet coconut, mango, peach, and then you get this big wave of citrus. First lemons, then limes, then a bit of grapefruit. And then it's all got this sort of wrapped up in a New Zealand style flavour with the sort of gooseberry, kiwi fruit, a bit of honeydew melon, and a little bit of white grape as well. But it's a tremendous beer, and again, it's one of those beers that Deya are famous for, with that massively soft mouthfeel, but there's a much more creaminess about this one. Carbonation is so soft. Oh, I can't describe how it's just this creaminess about it. A sweet, creamy flavour, and then straight away you're getting those sort of real strong lime sort of flavours. Lemons, obviously. There's a little bit of dryness and a little bit of slight sort of hint of grapefruit, but it's not big on the grapefruit. The bitterness is almost non-existent. And it's just another tremendous beer. It is a cracking beer, it really is. I mean, this was today, I try and make an effort because a lot of the time I think, right, I'm going to do a beer review, or I want a beer. Yeah, usually the other way around. I want a beer, and then I think, right, I'm going to have to review it. So I open the fridge, take the beer out, and think, set my camera up. Within 10 minutes, I'm there, sitting there, just ready to pour it. And sometimes the beer, certainly some of the recent ones, I've noticed these beers are just a slightly too cold. I've got my fridge on its lowest setting, but it's still too cold. Today, I've had these out for a good 45 minutes. We took them out, in the afternoon really, and gave it till, now it's about 5:30, 7 o'clock. Took them out just after 5 o'clock. So I've had probably nearly over an hour Still cool, but they taste that much better because they're just at the right temperature. It's almost at, it's at the sort of temperature that, when I was at the Deya, they were pouring out the taps at this sort of temperature. So it's cold. It's not like, it doesn't taste like warm beer. It's cold, but it's not got that icy coldness about it, which can really subdue the flavours. And because of that, this beer tastes incredibly good, really fresh. You're getting all the flavours straight away in this beer. And it's an amazing, amazing beer. And again, the star of it is this creaminess. It's almost like it's like a cream flow sort of beer. Amazing creaminess, not just only in the texture, but also in the flavour, which is, I'm quite surprised. I'm not sure what that creates, I don't think the hops are necessarily going to create that, but it's really, really delicious. It's got this nice sweetness and then this real zestiness on the back end. Before I sort of overly gush about how great this beer is, let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Deya's Glue. This is an IPA, 6.5%, and it's full of New Zealand hops. We've got Motueka, we've got Wai-Iti, or Wai-Iti? Wai-Iti. What's it? Wai-Iti. A lot of these I can't pronounce. And Rakau as well, Rakau or something like that. So I'm not sure how you pronounce that either. And there's also some Citra in there as well. But it's a real New Zealand style beer, and it is absolutely tremendous. But we'll start going through the scores with the aroma. So, yes, it's fresh. Yes, there's a you get the real lime sort of aroma you get through that. And you can smell there's a sweet creaminess about it, even in the aroma. Smells pretty good, but it's not a massive hit of aroma like a lot of beers are. But it's still really inviting. So I'm giving it 14 for aroma. Appearance-wise, well, I think, again, because it's got this creaminess, look at the lace in the glass. It's got great lacing, good head, lovely orangey, looks really thick. I mean, it looks like it tastes in the mouth. Lovely looking beer, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Flavour wise, well, this is where the score hits really high. I mean, yes, I am a big fan of the New Zealand hops, or I certainly am. Give me a couple of months and I'll probably think, yeah, I'm a little bit tired of the New Zealand hops. But this is a lovely selection. There's Nelson Sauvin is used a lot, but it's not in this one. And so you don't get that big sort of, that sort of white wine sort of flavour, the sort of green white grape. I keep saying white grape, but these grapes are green, aren't they? Green grapes, but they call, it's white grape. You're not getting dominance of that. You're getting a lot of lime and you're getting a lot of gooseberry. For me, that's the other sort of element of the New Zealand hops, that real zesty lime flavour. And you're definitely getting that in here. But you're getting a lot of tropicalness as well. You're getting a peachy, there's a sweetness at the front, a peach, a sort of mango, I suppose. And it's all wrapped up in this amazingly soft, Deya are known for their soft mouthfeel, but this has got an almost creamy sort of mouthfeel. There's a sweetness that gives it, you have to look twice to think, is there lactose in this? Because it's got a real creamy flavour to it. I'm not sure where that comes from, whether that comes from the yeast, whether that comes from oats. Maybe there's all kinds of different oats in this. I mean, it's certainly a sort of medium to thick bodied beer, but it is up there with, some of the best beer, not only from Deya, but from any brewery. And I think that they've really hit a great New Zealand style here. It's a shame that this wasn't available on tap, because I think I would have really liked that. But this is a really good beer. If you like New Zealand hops, you like the flavours that I'm describing, and you like soft, creamy sort of mouthfeel, then this is a superb beer. I don't know how much better you can get. There's nothing wrong with this beer at all in flavour. So I'm giving it 38. A couple of points down because, I can't give it a 40 because although there's nothing wrong with it and it is a superb flavoured beer, I don't know. Maybe I want something just a little bit extra, but it's pretty much as good as a flavour you're gonna get. Certainly if you like New Zealand hops. So 38 for flavour. Value for money. It's in a 500ml can, which is always good value. But whereas I was picking up the Deya beers for £4 when I was at the tap room, this one I got from the Fuss Club and it was about £5.50, so a bit more expensive. That's the sort of price you pay for Deya beers when you buy them from bottle shops. But there's a lot going on in it, and it's a bigger can than normal, so I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, and it's a cracking beer. And then my overall experience, why I really love this beer, it's in terms of New Zealand type of IPAs, it's one of the best that I've had. It's soft, it's creamy, it's got real lime zest in it, and there's gooseberry, and there's all those sort of green fruits that you associate with New Zealand, or the New Zealand hops anyway. But there's this extra element of this creaminess that really is almost like the cherry on the top of the cake, really makes the beer superb. So I'm giving it 17. Really love it. I'll regret that I only bought 1 can of it, because it's a really good beer. So 17 for overall. Top the scores up, we get, it's another highly recommended beer. It's an 86 out of 100. Oh, it's a superb beer. You know, if this beer was, you know, this is the Iron Maiden of beers, and it's a bit like Senjutsu, the new Iron Maiden album. A really good album. It's epic, like a lot of the songs on it. And it just is just one of the best beers from Deya, just like the new Iron Maiden album is one of the best. Certainly in the sort of modern era of Iron Maiden albums. So, if you've had this beer before, let me know in the comments. Is it the best Deya beer? I'm not sure, but it's pretty much up there with some of the best beers. Well, what's your favourite Deya? Is there a Deya beer that you haven't seen from my recent reviews that you think is a really cracking beer? I mean, this is great. I mean, as I say, Deya, they are probably my #1 brewery now. I think they've surpassed Polly's and surpassed Verdant in terms of my favourite brewery. They are really, really good, and this beer is no different. So, hope you've enjoyed this video, and until the next one, you know what you've got to do. Keep on rocking.